Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
You know, you never really think about how dumb this website's name is until you're in front of a bunch of people in a classroom and you're trying to present the website to them. You know.
Yeah.
And then you also sit there and you're like, well, yeah, we talked about Disturbed, Down with the Sickness, and, like, that's on the front page of the website. And, you know, there's a review of that Death End Request game, and it's got, like, anime girls hanging out. It's, you know, it's a little messed up when you start thinking about it, but... You know what?
Did you give him a little at the top of the class? Did that help?
I did not do that. Because I feel like if I did do that, I would have probably been wrestled to the ground and detained. So I did not do that. I
think you should have done it anyway.
Maybe next time, because I'll be back in class on Tuesday, and maybe I could walk in and, you know, just give them a little bit of that and then hopefully they don't think that that's like a COVID symptom. Because, like, who knows how that's gonna go?
No, but you want to be the disturbed guy. Like, that's the fucking identity you want with your classmates. Is it's the dude who listens to Down with the Sickness in 2020. I
don't know any other Disturbed song. I don't want to know any other ones. I just know that one, and that one's not a good song. It's not good.
It's not. It's a bad song. They're a bad band.
Actively horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know this for sure, but if you told me that the lead singer from Disturbed did not believe there was any real pandemic happening right now, that would tally with some of his other opinions that I've heard over the years. So
that makes sense. He there's probably a post from him on Twitter being like, "I'm down with the sickness, but this sickness isn't real," or something like that. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, now I'm checking.
I want to say down with the sickness has been surging in sales due to the coronavirus.
Disturbed singer refuses to isolate. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he says you can't catch coronavirus if you're already down with the sickness. So, great. Good stuff. Dude from Disturbed, living up to his reputation. Great. Awesome.
He's gonna be going caw and stuff pretty soon. The way he's acting. Yeah. All right. Well, folks, I'm John. I'm the host of the podcast that we're on, and with me this week are my two illustrious friends, Niall.
Hi. How's it going?
It's great now that we're doing this. And Rose.
Hi. I'm here. Yeah. Hi.
You sure are. Folks, what a time that we have. What a season. And there's been plenty of games, there's been plenty of announcements, there's been just all kinds of stuff. So I think we could talk about some news first, I suppose.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, just before we get into it here, just as a little counterpoint here to Disturbed, apparently Korn are selling their own coronavirus mask, which is now sold out. So Jonathan Davis and the boys are at least on the right side of this from the sounds of it. So that's great.
Right. It was it System of a Down that were having the, like, in-band strife because the, like, lead singer is, like, pretty leftist and then, like, the drummer, like, supports Trump or something? Was that System of a Down?
I haven't heard that, but it would be very surprising because I think they've always been pretty leftist as a whole, as far as I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I can't really see one of them being in that band if they weren't leftist.
I looked it up, and that is 100% what happened.
Weird. Wow. Did they change their bassist or their drummer recently? I wonder.
Maybe the drummer just doesn't listen to the songs. He's just drumming.
Yeah, maybe he's never thought about any of the music he makes for the last 30 years.
I don't know if he left the band. I'm trying to see, but yeah, I mean, he's just, I don't know. It says here that he is the lead singer Serge Tankian's his brother-in-law. Their wives or sisters. So maybe that is why he was in the band. Maybe because he's family.
Do you think he thought like BYOB really did mean bring your own beer? Like he didn't think it was like a political statement. It was just exactly what it seemed.
I guess so. It's just like
so. I used to live in an apartment which was like half of a house. So it was the lower half of the house, and the people living above me were the people who owned the house. And every like Saturday morning at like 7 a.m., you'd be woken up by them playing like System of a Down, like at maximum volume. It's like so loud that the walls of my bedroom would literally be shaking. And it was the fucking worst. And it's like being woken up by BYOB at 7 a.m. on a Saturday when you went to bed at like 5 is the worst.
Hey, guess what, Niall? I can relate to you because the exact same thing, except it was we had neighbors. They were my sister's friend, and the sister's friend's older brother would play Rock Band, whichever the fuck one has BYOB and some other ones. It's just every fucking weekend, just super early. It's the exact same thing. It wasn't always System of the Down. Sometimes it was other things like Rock Lobster. They would play constantly. It was just, but
It's not a pleasant feeling.
No, it's not.
It's the worst. And I kind of like System of a Down, but like, I don't need to be woken up by it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ugh. Anyway, video games, John. Sorry.
Video games happen. So I guess we could get into maybe the biggest piece of news this week, just right off the bat here, because it was kind of a strange week. It was a bit up and down. Mm-hmm. Games did come out this week, but I think like you've only played one of them. We could talk about that one because that's like probably the best one of the ones that came out this week. But probably the biggest bit of news was Nintendo just dropping a Nintendo Direct, as they have been recently. They've just been randomly hopping up, dropping in a video, and they did their big Mario 35th anniversary event. Because Mario 35th anniversary is in like a week and a half now. So they went, oh shit, we almost forgot about Mario's birthday. He's a 35-year-old man now. That's crazy. So there we go. We're going to announce a bunch of stuff. So they did. And a lot of it was pretty alright, but with a lot of caveats. And we'll get to that. So the first, I don't know, I'm not going to go in order per se, but first thing we could talk about here is they're finally porting Mario 3D World to the Switch. That was the Wii U 3D Mario game. It's a pretty okay game. They are releasing it on February 12th next year, and it's called Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. They didn't really say what the Bowser's Fury part is, but
I thought that was the game where Bowser's furry. Maybe they got confused.
Maybe, yeah. He does become Cat Bowser in that game, and
disturbing.
A little, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what that means. Some people have like compared the gameplay, however, and they found that the game runs like twice as fast as the Wii U version, which honestly is a pretty big improvement. Like Mario 3D World is not a bad game. It's pretty solid, but I do think that it is a little sluggish, and them bumping the speed up is absolutely a very good addition. And honestly, that might be enough for me to buy that game on the Switch. Especially if the Bowser's Fury editions are enough to satiate. But it just seems like a pretty okay version of that game, and like that game, it's good that they're bringing that game over. Maybe wait until it's on sale. I know it's only going to go on sale for like $45 or whatever, but still, like, you know, it's good. It's good. So I'm glad that they have released that game again. Did either of you play Mario 3D World?
No, yeah, I 100%'d it.
Would you be interested in getting it again?
No, fuck no. Like, it's a very good game, but, like, I'm not going to be tricked by Nintendo to just waste money when it's right there on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, I saw that they, like, haven't removed it yet from the Wii U eShop like they did the other one.
Oh, wow.
So.
Okay, yeah.
So,
yeah, I know, amazing.
I know, right?
So that is something that they seem to be walking back on, at least slightly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so when the Pikmin 3 Deluxe version got announced, they removed Pikmin 3 from the Wii U eShop, but they just recently brought it back. So maybe people, causing a ruckus about it actually made Nintendo not do something boneheaded, which, again, we'll get to in a second. So another thing they revealed was something that is pretty neat as a collector's item. I don't think that normal people should be picking this up, but they revealed a Game & Watch that has Super Mario Brothers on it, like the entire Super Mario Brothers game, as well as Mario 2, aka the Lost Levels over here. It's a pretty neat little thing to have. It also has the Game & Watch ball game on there, the little juggling game. And it can also function as a watch, because it is a Game & Watch. I think it's a neat little doodad. It's probably going to be like $50 though, which is a lot for, Mario and Mario 2. But yeah. I still like that it's this cute little thing, and if people can figure out how to hack it, and you could just upload every NES game onto it, maybe I would pick one up, because then I could just have a cute little Game & Watch that could run all kinds of games. But other than that, no, probably not. There was also a new quote-unquote Mario Kart game revealed. It's called Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, and it's really just it's like a toy that you could play with on your Switch, because it's these remote-controlled Mario Kart carts, little carts, and there's a Mario and Luigi one, and you control them on your Switch, and you make tracks in your home to drive around in, and that's probably cool if you own a house.
If you're rich in general, yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's $100-something, right?
It's $100, and yeah. I mean, I guess I understand, because it's, I don't know how full featured it is. If it's a full game, sort of, then I don't know. But then the plastic thing, it's got a whole fucking camera in it. I don't know how much cameras cost.
Nothing these days, really, especially not one of that quality.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's not an insane price for what it is. I will say that. It's just,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not something that I'm interested in, and also it's gonna probably be the whatchamacallit, the fucking cardboard folding shit. Oh my god, why can't I remember what that shit's called? Do y'all remember?
Oh, the Labo.
Yeah. I bet it's gonna be like Labo, and it's gonna drop.
Yeah.
After a while, so So the two things that were revealed that are probably the things that most people are upset about, which I understand, are the Super Mario Bros. 35 and the Mario 3D All-Stars game. So the Mario 3D All-Stars game was leaked a while ago. You may recall a while ago. You might recall me even talking about it a long time ago, because everyone knew about this. It's coming out September 18th, which is 2 weeks from the day we're recording, and they announced it the day before we're recording. So they gave people a 2-week head start on this bad boy. And it is pretty much exactly what everyone was saying it's going to be. It's Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy all in one collection. It's full price. Ugh. And
what, you don't like paying $60 for Mario 64 in 2020?
We'll get to that. And it seems like they've done some work to these games, but not a lot. There's folks saying that they have done some new textures on 64. And they've done some up-resing and some other little touches on Sunshine and Galaxy, but they didn't remaster these games. They didn't really touch them up that
this
much.
Is the equivalent of when people put out those Dolphin fan patches that are hey, look, it's 1080p now, basically.
Yeah. And I mean, that does take work, but it's not that much work. So and then just to real quick explain what the other thing is, the Super Mario Brothers 35 game is a game made by Arika. So it is by the people that made Tetris 99 as well as, all those other crazy-ass Tetris games. And I actually like the idea of it. It is basically Tetris 99 Mario, where it's you versus 34 other people playing the original Super Mario Brothers, but as you kill enemies, it shoots those enemies over to your opponent. So your screen is just going to be full of enemies, and you have to traverse through the levels, and you have to try to beat Mario first or kill everyone else to be the last Mario standing. I think that's a pretty cute concept. I like it.
I like you just said you have to get rid of the other Marios and be the last Mario standing. That's pretty cute. I don't know. That's cute.
You have to murder all the other Marios. Yeah. It's adorable.
There's just one Mario left. That's wholesome.
Yes. Yeah. The world only needs one. But here's the kicker for both of those games. And what a kicker it is. Both of those games are going to be delisted in March.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying they're just going to sell the physical copy of Mario 3D All-Stars until... No. They're both going to be removed from the eShop. And Mario 35 is going to be unplayable on the 31st of March next year. I don't know why they would do that. There's no reason for it. Okay, I'm less abjectly angry about the Mario 3D All-Stars. It's stupid, but it's so easy to just download those games online. You can steal those games like that.
Sure. Yeah.
Mario 35, the closest thing to that was there was an online Mario Battle Royale that was pretty much the same thing, and it got delisted. It got removed from the internet, probably because Nintendo is doing that, but then they're just going to get rid of it. And it's not like Nintendo's just going to let the fan one come back. It's absolutely so stupid. And, for the Mario 3D thing, it's, there's reasons that kind of make sense behind it, where, they're probably going to put N64 games on the Switch Online, or they'll do an N64 Mini, and they're going to want Mario 64 on that. So they don't want you to have to, they're not going to be oh, you could buy it here or here or here. That might be a bit too much. I get that, but it's just, it's so stupid. It's such a boneheaded anti-consumer thing that you have to get it in the specific time frame. What if you don't have a Switch until then? What if, you're just broke until it comes out?
What if there was a global pandemic going on?
Exactly. There's a global fucking pandemic. A lot of people don't have the money for this kind of shit. It's so stupid. And, honestly, unless you're a big collector, I would say just don't even get it. Don't fucking worry about it. Just get those games however you can. I mean, hell, if you still want to buy those games, you can get Mario 64 on the Wii U eShop. You can get Galaxy on the Wii U eShop for I think Galaxy's $20 and Mario 64 is probably 10. And you can't get Sunshine, but do you really want Sunshine?
Right. Yeah. Do you really want the worst Mario game ever made?
It may be the worst one, but it does have Mario speaking English, doesn't it? I mean, but other characters speaking English.
It does, yes. It does have the other characters talking.
And that's kind of something, I have to say.
It is very it's not a god awful game. It's okay, but it's absolutely the worst 3D Mario. It's not great. It's just but whatever. I just play these games however you can. Don't worry about getting this collection because it's not worth it. You could straight up download these games and run them on Dolphin and have them look just as good. And hell, even get mods for them that would make them better than what Nintendo's giving you. So, don't be like me and buy it. Because I bought it. Because
I know I shouldn't be surprised that you bought it, but
I want to play them on the Switch.
I know.
Look, don't.
Yeah, I know you're the Mario monk. I know.
I'm not. I don't know if I'd call myself a Mario monk. Okay, I'm like this fucking. I'm a Pokemon priest. I'll say that.
Okay.
I'm Pokemon Priest. But I know I have Nintendo brain, and it's not something that I should have. And I absolutely don't think that what Nintendo's doing is right. I would say definitely like fucking hound them on Twitter, like talk shit about it. Like Disney Vault trended on Twitter because of what Nintendo's doing. Like everyone knows what they're doing. They just keep giving them shit, and because they deserve it for this, and like they should just let this stuff exist. You know, if they're going to be such pricks about emulating and do all that, they have to actually have their games available for people to purchase. So they can't have their cake and eat it too. They have to actually release these games. So
no Mario Galaxy 2 is devastating.
That is another thing, is they do not have Mario Galaxy 2 in this bundle, when a lot of people consider Mario Galaxy 2 to be the best of those games, like those pre-Odyssey 3D Marios.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of putting Sunshine in a package and not putting Galaxy 2 in is...
It's just like the anniversary concept, right? They want to get one from each era or whatever. But no, you're right. It's a better game, for sure. I think the only thing that Galaxy 1 has on Galaxy 2 is that their like attempts at narration were compelling ideas, at least, and like really interesting, and made Miyamoto really mad and turned him into the monster he is today. So
yeah, well, oh well. Look, I'm at least not going to be one of those people that buys 2 copies to keep one of them shrink wrapped.
Do you think Nintendo's like? This is my theory, okay? That I mean, like, there's a lot of reasons they could do something like this, but like, all of their behavior over the years makes me think that like the people who are in charge of all of Nintendo's decisions are like former scalpers, and they're trying to help like the old family or something like that. Like they're paying their dues. Because like everything they do always is the most like, hey, scalpers, go crazy, you know? Yeah. Like there can only be 4 Wiis at a store. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't think they're thinking about that at all. I think they want their content to be like high end looking and to seem like something that people want to really work to get. They want it to seem special, and they are probably worried that having those 3 games in a collection like that makes like undervalues their games a little bit, but they're kind of like, we'll do this special thing for the 35th anniversary. You know, we're doing this as a special thing, and then after that, you're going to have to pay however much for those games, because it's like Zelda's anniversary is next year, and there's already all these rumors that they're going to be doing like not something similar, but like that they're going to be doing Zelda re-releases, and it sounds like those are going to be full price. Like they're going to do Skyward Sword and it's going to be full price. They're going to do Wind Waker again and it's going to be full price again. Like it's just because they don't want their games to seem undervalued, and it's like fucking no. It's not that like people love those games already. They don't have to be like fucking prestige. It's fine.
Wasn't Wind Waker 40? I
think it might have been.
I think it was, but I would believe it'd be 60 now is the thing. Like absolutely. Because they're unhinged. But I feel like that was that era where like they released like Pikmin 2 and 1 on the Wii, and it was like $30 too, right? They were being like normal. Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. It's a headache. It's a real headache. Again, like, you know, as the fucking Nintendo brain, you know, it's not something I can defend. You know, it's not something that anyone should defend.
It's just like it's gotten so much worse. Like, so I opened up my Wii U recently. And by recently, I mean like 2 days ago, and I haven't, you know, checked out that thing really in a meaningful way since like let's say 2017. And their DS and GBA releases kind of wild.
They put like every Mega Man Battle Network game.
They put a lot of games. There's like 4-5 pages of GBA games. There's like a ton of DS games too. Like everything you'd expect. Like all the big hitters. Like not just from Nintendo, from other companies too. And it's like, what happened to that? Like, why are we here? Why is the only thing on the Switch NES and SNES games?
Because they're
and
not
then
desperate anymore.
$60 of Mario games from over 10 years ago.
Just because they're not desperate anymore, and it fucking sucks. Like, it's dumb. It's really dumb. And I don't know. It's not defensible. And I really hope that people raise hell and make them bring that stuff back. Because, you know, like, I'm sure, I'm probably not going to get Pikmin 3 because, you know, I did already play that. But it's just like, I don't know. I do want to play those games. I do want to own those games. I like the concept of having all three of those games on a cart, but it's just like it's such a cheapo thing. And like, you know, like there are other releases that have, you know, there are other things where it's like, oh yeah, this is just like a collection of ROMs or whatever. But then they have other things involved. They have like interviews and content that explains like the history behind the games, and Nintendo does not do that at all. Like, you know, like people had to leak all that stuff for Mario 64. Like, why can't they just have an interview where Miyamoto goes, yeah, you know, we almost put Luigi in the game, but we couldn't. Like, why won't they do that? Why do they have to? It's because they want to keep their games as this prestige, mysterious, powerful thing. When, no, people love those games and they have connections to them and they want to know about them and they want to know about the creation. And, you know, you see how much people love stuff like what's the fuck, like Danny O'Dwyer stuff, or, you know, what Druscani, yeah, No Clip, yeah, like what a bunch of like video creators are doing, where they're talking to these creators and actually getting in depth with why they're doing what they're doing, how it happened, the struggles that happened. It's just it's stupid. It's stupid.
It is.
But yeah, that's about that for that. I'll get back to you in 2 weeks when I'm playing Mario 64 on my Switch, and it's the fucking Shindo version. So you can't even do
BLJs.
backwards long jump. You can't even do that, and he doesn't say "So long, Gay Bowser" anymore.
Worse version. You're paying a premium for worse things.
Yeah, like he doesn't say that. You can't do your half A press thing. Like, what's the fucking point? Like, it's not Mario 64 anymore.
Yeah. Oh well. Niall, do you want to regale us with something good instead?
Sure. Yeah. So Tony Hawk 1+2, the remake of
the new Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah, I was gonna say like final chapter remix,
starring Tony Hawk, ollie over kickflip or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, the remake of the first two Tony Hawk games, it's out, and yeah, it's really, really good. I'm like very, very happy with it so far. You know, obviously those last few Tony Hawk games that were done by Robomoto were very bad. They did Tony Hawk HD and they did Tony Hawk 5, and those games were both really bad for different reasons. Like HD was just sort of like, okay, you're kind of trying to do like the old stuff again, but it doesn't feel right and the physics aren't right, and like it just doesn't feel good. And then 5 was just like a complete mess that was broken and like unplayable in a lot of ways, and was also just like, you never fell down, so you could just get into a combo and go literally as long as you wanted until you got bored, and it was just shitty. But 1+2, this remake is being done by Vicarious Visions and Beanox, who did the Crash remakes, and it is really fucking good. Like, it is exactly what what I wanted it to be. It is sort of, it's not a one-to-one complete like recreation of it. The physics are a little different. It adds in all stuff like reverts and manuals and wall rides, wall plants, all that stuff that came kind of later in the series. So it's not exactly the same as those old levels, like the same way they once were, but like everything fits together really well, and it's really coherent, and it just feels like you remember it feeling, even though that like those physics are slightly different. It's like in your head what you think of when you think of those early Tony Hawk games, or really those Tony Hawk games up to like Thug 2 when they were still good. And yeah, it's it's just Tony Hawk, you know, like it's Tony Hawk the way it should be. Like, I feel like those games were great until they started getting it in their head that they needed to like reinvent the wheel and start putting in like weird skateboard controllers or like changing the tone of it and all this like stuff, going a little bit more simmy with some of those later games like American Wasteland and Proving Grounds or whatever it was called. But this is just, it's just those old levels. It's Tony Hawk, you know, you get in, you drop in, you do a gigantic combo, you get 250,000 points, and you're like, fuck yeah, dude, like, let's collect these skate logos, let's find the secret tape, and yeah, it takes you back, you know, Superman playing, Guerrilla Radio playing, like, all those old songs are back in it. It's just, it is a remake that is, like, in a year full of remakes, it is the most one-to-one remake that has, like, come out, like, when you compare it to Final Fantasy or Resident Evil 3 or whatever, but it's, like, so well done and so faithfully done that, like, it kind of proves that you kind of don't have to really reinvent those old games if you do them right, just, like, the way they were, and, yeah, it's just really fucking good. And Skull's in it, and you can be a skeleton. So that's good.
I imagine it's really good to get this, especially after fucking 5, right? Like, that was boy.
Yeah, like, we gave 5, like, our worst of 2015 or 16, whatever year it came out. Like, it was really bad. Like, 5 would have things happen where you would just be skating, or you'd be just grinding along a rail, and suddenly, like, the world would empty out from beneath you and you'd clip out into just infinite space or whatever. You know, like, everything just felt wrong, and you never knew when you were doing anything in 5, like, okay, is this gonna, like, complete, or is the level gonna break and everything is gonna fuck up? And just, like, there were, like, even things in 5, like, if you jumped anywhere near a wall, you'd automatically wall ride it or wall plant it, even if you didn't want to, which would fuck up your rhythm or fuck up, like, something you were trying to do, you know. And it was all just, like, every decision they made was bad, except maybe for putting Lil Wayne in the game, but, like, it was just a shit video game, and this is what I wanted from a Tony Hawk game, and I'm really, really happy with it so far. Mm-hmm. Like, I booted it up, and so all the levels are just open to free skate, like, right from the start. You can just go into any of those levels you want to. So I opened it up and went to, like, Marseille, which is from Tony Hawk 2, and it's this just fairly traditional, like, giant bowl level, basically, and I just went through that for, like, 5 minutes, just getting a feel for the rhythm of it again. Went into the warehouse, turned on Superman by Goldfinger, and, like, within a few seconds I had, like, that entire, or not the entire thing, but, like, almost every goal on that course finished, and it was just like, yes, finally, like, it's Tony Hawk the way I want to play Tony Hawk. So, yeah, I will say, like, the one thing that kind of has me wary of it, and this was the same in Crash Team Racing, which Beanox also did, was there is no cash shop in Tony Hawk right now, but you can see from, like, the way the, like, in-game store is laid out to get just items and boards and stuff like that for your created character. Like, you can see how they could very easily shoehorn in that same kind of, like, real money microtransaction daily deal, like, this skin or, like, this board is only available today kind of thing, like they did with Crash Team Racing, which I hope they don't do, obviously, because it sucks shit, but you can see how they might work that into it, which I'm not a big fan of that. Character creator is alright as well. I was able to make the Santa Cruz Joker. I was trying to make Review Bra.
Great.
And as I was making Review Bra, I noticed that there was just, like, you know, skateboards and t-shirts and stuff that just said Santa Cruz on them. So and there's also Joker makeup. So I just pivoted and made Santa Cruz Joker. And John told me that I should put like all his because you get stat points or whatever. John told me I should put all his balance stat points down to the lowest because he's the Joker, and so I did that. And that kind of makes him a nightmare to play as. But otherwise, that game is really great.
I don't know if that was me who said that, but yeah,
I think it was you. I thought it was you, but
we were fucking around in the Discord about it. Yeah. I am hoping they add suits, though, so I can also make Review Bra, because I want to see him on a skateboard. I did jump into the multiplayer as well, just briefly before we started, and there are some people on that already who are really fucking good at Tony Hawk. Like, somebody... Like, the first round I got into was just, like, whoever does the biggest combo in 2 minutes wins, or whatever, and I was, like... 30 seconds in and I hit my combo and I was like, all right, that's 250,000 points. Like, nobody's beaten that. And then like 10 seconds I look and somebody has over 1 million points like on one combo and I was like, okay, people are good at this already. Like, but I'm very excited to dig more into it. It's kind of all I want to play right now, even though there are other games coming out finally. But yeah, it seems really good. I'm going to be writing a review of it, so
hell yeah,
that'll be out soon enough.
Sure, yeah. Looking forward to it. Rose, how about you? Is there anything you want to talk about?
Sure. Pardon me. Yeah, I played more games than I thought I did, because I was like, I'm going to do the podcast today. I didn't do anything. I did do a lot of things, actually. So I was streaming Panzer Paladin and this bad Zelda ROM hack called Zelda the Missing Link. It's not like the worst ROM hack ever, but it was an Ocarina of Time ROM hack that's supposed to take place between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And it had some interesting ideas, like it added in the sword beam from Zelda 1. Like, your health is full, you can fire a beam out of your sword, and you had to solve puzzles with that, which was like, it's an interesting idea that they haven't really done in real Zelda games. And there was another item that you get when you do the dungeon, the one dungeon, that is an hourglass that lets you just like go back in time 4 seconds. So you solve puzzles by doing that, which is like fun in the 3D Zelda space. And then those were interesting ideas. Everything else, pretty bad. The like visual language of the dungeons were really hard to tell what's going on, because it's all tree themed, but like some trees move, some don't. Everything is focused on bomb chews for some godforsaken reason. The ROM hack dude who made it just loves bomb chews. And I don't know if you remember how bomb chews control, but they suck ass. And you have to solve like 30 puzzles with them. And every time you open a chest, it's a fucking bomb chew. So it was just like, okay. I ended up getting stuck a lot of times just because I didn't use a bomb chew in the right place or something. And that was really dumb. There was a lot of weird parts of the game, but the funniest part, hands down, was Saria from Ocarina of Time is your sword. She just turned herself into your sword.
Why not?
And she pops out of the sword twice to talk to you. And then after the second time, she just dies and goes to heaven.
Oh, okay. Goodbye.
And that was killing me. I don't know why. Just like this very like the whole thing was just like the most like, I'm gonna make Zelda, but it's a little fucked up. I don't know. Like the final boss is like a tree with like human eyeballs because it's a guy that fucked up his transformation because he ate fairies or whatever. It was like, wow, that's epic. So yeah, that was pretty mediocre. I don't recommend it, really. Like, if you're really like hankering for some original Ocarina of Time Z-targeting era stuff, I guess you could do that. But let me tell you, Z-targeting's worse than I remember. And then Panzer Paladin was this. It's have either of you seen that game before?
I have, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched a little bit of you streaming it, so.
Okay, cool. It's okay. Also, I don't know, like it's what, like, it has the production values of like Shovel Knight, for example, like a really good pixel aesthetic, a really good like you know, I think general system design concept is really interesting, and it's very, you know, reminiscent of like Mega Man or Blaster Master or whatever.
It is very Blaster Master.
Yeah. But then like it just sort of had like really bad level design from like a like leaning way too hard into that retro ideology. Like, oh yeah, you died, or like the main bad problem was that you could only do checkpoints while you were in your robot. So if you ended up like, for example, just like dying like halfway through a level or something, and you get right to the halfway point where the checkpoint is, but you're just your little person who is inside the robot, you just can't make a checkpoint, and you can't backtrack through screens at all. So when you get the robot back, you're just fucked basically. And that was kind of like, why would you make checkpoints like this? You know, like I don't, like that's supposed to be the thing. Like even retro games are generous about those, you know, right? Like,
yeah,
it felt very frustrating, especially when the levels started getting harder and it was like, all right, so this one level where you can just fall off and die really easily over and over again. Well, I'm going to just like have to go back to the beginning over and over again. It wasn't the most fun thing in the world. So it was a little disappointing, but I do think the systems in that game were at least interesting. Like you basically had to collect a bunch of weapons or whatever, and they had durability that worked through really quickly, but you could break them and they give you a stat or like a special thing. Like all of a sudden you can shoot a beam out or like do big damage or something. Like that's an interesting idea. I think that's an interesting way to make durability systems work, at least compared to like Breath of the Wild, where it was like, yeah, they're breaking. All right. I usually hate durability systems in games. I'm going to be real. Like Final Fantasy 14 is the worst one for me. I hate it. It's just like, all right, like if you're not a person who worked all your crafters up to the point where you can repair all your gear all the time in Final Fantasy 14, it's just like, oh, I got into something and my gear broke. I guess we just have to leave. And I think that really sucks. Yeah, those are the two games I finished. I finished those. Well, actually, I finished all of these games on my list except Doom. So I'll just say Doom's still good. I don't want to occupy too much time. If you want to come back to me for another game later, you totally
can. Talk about Doom real quick.
Okay. I mean, I just think that it's good. I got to the part where there are marauders everywhere all the time now, and I think they're fine. I think they're fine.
I think
okay.
That game is fine. Yeah. Fine is exactly how I would talk about that game. Like,
yeah, it's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, I really just wish like it had left more of an impression on me. You know, like there's just something about Doom Eternal that just, I don't know. Maybe it's just because Doom 2016 set expectations so high, but something about Eternal just kind of fell flat for me.
They tried some different things with Eternal that I don't think really landed, but the rest of that game was just so solid that it just kind of walks away being like pretty good and not as much of a revelation as 2016 was.
So I feel a little differently, which is that I think like with 2016, I liked it a lot, don't get me wrong, but it was like everything was very basic and samey a lot of the times. Like, I mean, like that was the biggest criticism of that game, right? That was just like the same environments pretty much over and over again.
Sure.
And I really appreciate how that, at the very least, the environmental stuff is different. I really like the platforming stuff, honestly, in Eternal. Like,
yeah, I didn't dislike that either. And I know a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, the platforming is so bad," but I had some fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good pace breaker, especially because like in that first game, it was just like the pace breakers are just you're walking through a hallway pretty much, like, and there's nothing going on. And also just the whole game just feels a lot more like a character action game. So I think that's why I like it more, probably.
Yeah.
Like the hook, is it the meat hook? Is that what it's called? Or what
Something
is it?
like that.
Something, yeah, the super shotgun is just amazing. That's the main thing. It's just an incredible weapon in that game. And I really like all the weapon challenge stuff was in Doom 2016, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad they kept that. I like that stuff. And I really like the Slayer gates a lot, too. Yeah, I think I've been having a more positive experience with it. I definitely understand why people were... Like, for example, the whole presentation of it, I guess, is generally kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
They think it's really cool, and it's totally not. Like, there are cool things in that game is the thing. There are really cool things in that game, and that's not the part they're focusing on and going, like, isn't this cool? It's like all, like, the, like, I don't know how to, like, half the lore is just like, yeah, okay, guys. I don't know. Like, I appreciate them putting in, like, all the stupid lore, because that was my favorite thing about, 2000s FPS. Like, this, all of this stupid fucking nonsense backstory and stuff, but I think a lot of it falls flat in Eternal.
I had fun with it in a way that I was just like leaning back and laughing. Like, I think we're divorced enough from that game to talk slightly about it. Like, I just love how they reference the stupid ass fucking comic a bunch. Like, I know it's stupid, but I love that they're just like leaning into the he's a fucking dumb crazy guy, saying rip and tear all the time. That's pretty funny. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I'm fine with that stuff to an extent, but like all of that like Viking aesthetic and stuff that they go for,
sure.
I think that really fell flat for me.
It does.
Okay, feels very World of Warcraft.
I get that.
Like epic space medieval whatever. Like,
yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. All right, well, let's see here. Some more news, because honestly, I didn't play anything. Like, whatever. When I brought this up, Niall, you had an extremely visceral reaction, and I think you'll have another visceral reaction here. So, the Crunchyroll Expo is going on right now. We might talk about that more on Shujigatari this coming recording, but something we could talk about on here is that Crunchyroll and Adult Swim / Toonami, whatever you want to say, are teaming up for some reason to make a Shenmue anime. I don't know.
You can't see me right now, but I have my head just buried in my hands. I'm like that picture of Luigi.
You don't have to let him have power over you, Niall. You don't have to do it. Yu Suzuki, he doesn't have to be a part of your life.
You know what? He doesn't have to be a part of my life, which is why I did not play Shenmue 3. But God, fuck Shenmue. Like, honestly, in all its forms, fuck that piece of shit. God.
You know what?
Shenmue. Fuck off, Yu Suzuki. Like, honestly, go away.
So, this is... I found out recently, I think I might have actually mentioned this on the podcast, so I'm sorry if this is redundant, but finding out, like, that Shenmue, like, bankrupted Sega, and then, like, they were only saved by a dying millionaire who loved Sega giving them $50 million or whatever. It's, like, the most, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think that guy had been, like, their president or whatever, and he had retired because he had cancer, and he was just like, you get all my inheritance, Sega, because we fucked up. But, like, still, God. Honestly, if you make Shenmue, it probably should bankrupt you, like, if I'm being real. I mean, like, have you fucking seen Shenmue? Like, Jesus Christ.
I have.
Ugh.
So I guess this anime is going to be an adaptation of the first game and some of the second. It's going to be 13 episodes, and it is. I don't think it says when it's coming out. They're just saying that it's in production.
Okay, but so I'm trying to think here. What's in that first game, like, that they could realistically make into a television series? Because I mean,
forklift
races. Like every day he'll go.
It's going to be a whole episode.
Yeah, like, because really, like, the thing that nobody wants to admit about Shenmue, who likes Shenmue, is that original game has about, like, an hour and a half of content in it, and the rest of it is just standing around waiting for things. like, what the fuck's gonna happen? Okay, like, Landy shows up and kills the dad, and he takes the mirror, and then Ryo goes around and talks to people for, like, 18 episodes, and then he races a forklift around, and then he's on a boat for some reason fighting a bunch of dudes, and then, like, somewhere along the way there's a really racist depiction of a man selling hot dogs who kind of sounds like Tommy Wiseau, and everyone sounds like they're having, like, two completely different conversations when they're speaking. Like, like, fuck off. Like, go away. I don't want it. I don't need it. The world doesn't fucking need it. Like, ugh. You think they're gonna put the little golem guy in it as well? Like, what's his deal again? Like, that guy, he like shows up and he steals the ticket or something. It's ugh.
I mean, I hope that they put Duel in eventually. Like, there just needs to be a whole episode of you moving the boxes and him going, ugh! Like, that's all I need.
I will give it a chance if they hire the video games cast, and only if they hire the video games cast, because I don't think I would be surprised if the guy who plays Ryo has ever had any work ever outside of Shenmue. But I would love to hear him try and act like on something that somebody cared about, who maybe like could write something. It is being written by Yu Suzuki though, isn't it? So maybe not. I feel like I saw that, or you told me that.
Yeah.
It says he's the executive producer.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's putting stuff in from his drafts, he said.
Okay. But like, he's not going to be responsible for the dialogue.
Maybe not.
Theoretically, no.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes, you know?
Yeah, I just want to know, like, are people going to talk like human beings in that show, or are they going to talk like Yu Suzuki characters, you know?
Yeah.
We'll find out when that drops, because if they're starting production relatively recently, you know, with anime, like, anime is so fast to air, I would say it's probably going to be like a year. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess I could talk about what I've been playing. So, I've been so in and out, that I think the big thing that I could talk about is probably just Team Fortress 2. I've just been playing TF2 with folks in the Shush server, and, you know, that's fun. Not really anything to talk about, because it's not like they've updated the game or anything. You know, like, they added new hats recently.
I thought something happened with the hat market. Didn't it, like, explode?
That was a while ago, yeah. So there was a bit ago where, like, every time you opened a crate, you got an unusual hat, which just meant that the market plummeted. It was basically the equivalent of, like, everyone who logs on to Robinhood got given, like, 100 Apple stocks or something like that. You know, it was just chaos. But I guess they fixed that back then. So, I don't know. Right now, the problem is that there are way too many bots. And that is something that I have had to experience firsthand. Like, just logging in to play some casual matches. There's just bots that are playing a sniper and can automatically headshot you, like automatically. It has gotten so bad that apparently people have started to buy bots that only kill other bots. So there's just a bot proxy war going on right now, and it really feels like a legitimate war economy where there are people just over here trying to live their lives and have fun, and then right next to them there's this war going on. And yeah, it's absolutely a war economy in TF2, and Valve hasn't done anything about it yet. Like, they dragged their feet about some racist bots that were happening. Like, they were just, like, bots that were joining the game and spamming the chat with racism, and they finally got rid of them. But now there's these gameplay bots, and they're just interrupting the games and making it difficult to actually play. And, you know, like, people are vote-kicking the bots, but, I was in games where, you know, like, 4 or 5 bots were joining, like, at once, and it was, like, even kind of hard to tell when one was a bot, because it was just, like, all of a sudden, like, oh shit, okay, no, this guy is playing a sniper on a map where you should absolutely not be playing sniper, and he's getting, like, a shit ton of kills. It's absolutely a bot. So, yeah, it's very weird, and also, I feel like, I think I saw some folks saying that, like, the person who is running the bots on both sides, like, it's probably the same person on both sides. So again, just like real life, like, the war economy is self-perpetuating, and it's just, you know, it all comes back to one group of people just funding and keeping the war going to make money off of it. So yeah, it's just like real life. But Team Fortress 2 is fun when you get in a match when it's not bots. It's still pretty okay. I've been playing as Pyro a lot and Medic, just like I used to when I was playing TF2 a lot a couple of years ago. I like playing as Pyro and Medic.
I think I only ever played as Spy and Demo Man.
I like Demo Man a lot too. I'm not very good as him, but Demo Man is fun. I feel like the closest I am to actually good is when I play as Medic. Like, I usually help out a lot when I'm Medic. So.
Support roles are fun.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah. I think Medic is probably, like, the TF2 Medic is one of the more fun, like, support roles I've played in any game. Like, just, like, Uber-charging someone is, like, really fun, especially when you have to, like, sit there and, like, figure out, okay, who's going to get my Uber? Who is going to actually do the most to help out in this situation? It's fun to, like, figure that out. Rose, do you want to talk about anything else?
Yeah. So I finally read through The House in Fata Morgana, which is a visual novel that came out a while ago, and then I think it got localized 4 years ago over here. It had that fake controversy earlier this year, which was why I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna read that.
It had a controversy?
Oh, it was a fake one of those fake ones where dudes just get mad. They translated like tsundere as like fragile male ego or something.
Oh,
so a bunch of dudes freaked out. I do want to say, having played the game now, absolutely insane that people were getting mad about that, because the way the character it was referring to is truly a heinous individual. So
sure. It's
interesting they would get upset about that, but okay.
Probably because they see themselves in that character, you know? If they're really a piece of shit.
That game's really, really good. It's really, really good.
Is there anything you can really talk about?
So I don't want to spoil too much of it, because like the entire second half is like completely different than the first half. So I'll just talk about the first half. First half is like, basically it's this cursed mansion. It's existed for hundreds and hundreds of years, and everyone who's ever lived in the mansion has been cursed and just has a horrible life, basically. The first, you go through like these basically like 4 different stories. One's like these 2 rich kids in like the 1600s. Then like a fucked up serial killer in like the 1700s. And then a like rich American railroad mogul in the 1800s. And you basically just see like their life, what happened to them, like what went wrong. There's usually like a theme involved and stuff like that. And it's really good stuff. This is hard to explain. It's really, really good. Like it's a really like basically an entire story about like people can do horrible things. People can be like really horrible people, but they're still people. There's reasons why they do the horrible things that they do. And you don't have to forgive them for that, but you can know why they did it. And it like, you know, everyone's just a person in the end. And it also has like a lot of themes later on that are like, wow, okay, I'm increasingly frustrated, I guess, by, not to get into too spoiler. Okay. It's really hard because it's something that I've said before I think shouldn't be treated as a spoiler, but I kind of want to, sort of. Let's just say the game has like LGBT themes later on. Very good stuff.
Okay, good.
Like very, very good stuff. And it's another thing that I've read recently that has that stuff in it that's making me be like, why are all of the games that I play that have like really good, let's say like gay or trans narratives, why are they all Japanese? Like, why does this keep happening? Like, I feel like this game has like a lot of production values that say like most of the games that have like a lot of, you know, trans characters or something over here wouldn't have.
Sure.
Like the soundtrack's amazing, the art's really, really good. Like it just has like a lot of like focus and stuff put into it. Whereas like I was trying to think like this came out in 2012, and I'm trying to think of like in America like what came out in 2012 that was like had a narrative similar to this, and like it's like Twine Games, right? Like that at that point it was Twine Games, and it's just like I don't know, like the way that like I feel like a lot of Japanese games are handled in like the Western sphere and stuff like that is they're considered like backwards politically. But that's only like certain games, you know, like that's only like, you know, Senran Kagura's and stuff like that. Like there's tons of games and games like this that have been like out for years and years that like have been popular far before like we even started getting there in the mainstream at all. But I really recommend this game. It has like a lot of intense subject matter, so just know that going in. But it's probably one of the best VNs I've ever read. I think it's really, really good.
Great. I will definitely try that out because that that sounds really good. And I've been wanting to read some more stuff, so it's great.
It has this really fun thing now that I've beaten. It's the only thing I have left that I'm working my way through now. Where once you beat the game, you get a backstage feature, which you just get to see all of the characters just like talk about the game basically for like the duration of like one chapter of the game. Basically they just go back and talk about like all the things, and they like it's very like, you know, tongue-in-cheek, like jokey and stuff like that about everything that, because the game is not jokey for the most part. The game is gothic suspense, I think is what they say it is. Very intense stuff, very like dark stuff. It has a lot of lighthearted parts for sure, but like it's still very intense. And then this part is just like they're all like joking around and stuff. It's a nice like, you know, thing to have at the end of the game, I think. And I wish more games did that, like, because it has a lot of like developer thing. They're reading cue cards, they say in that part, where they're like, hey, the developers wrote down here what they were thinking when they wrote this or whatever and stuff like that. And I think that's really good. I want more stuff like that.
Sure. Rock and roll. All right. Let's see here. I guess we have like two tales of indie games here.
Yeah.
So I guess the less upsetting one is that Vlambeer is breaking up, and that's kind of wild to say that like an indie studio ending is the less upsetting thing.
Yeah, but like,
they haven't done anything in forever, right? Like
they are currently making a game called Ultra Bugs, which they did say is still going to come out. They're going to put it out and support it until they're done with it. But after that, they said that they're done. So, you know, you might know Vlambeer from Ridiculous Fishing, Nuclear Throne. Did they
Luftrausers?
Yeah, I think they did Luftrausers as well. Yeah.
Wasn't the thing with Vlambeer, though, always like that it was pretty well known that they don't actually like each other? Because it's a two-person studio,
yeah, that's what I thought.
And like,
yeah, it's Rami Ismail and Jean-Wilhelm Nijman. So.
Yeah. And it was always pretty like well known that they were like a good creative partnership, but didn't really have any personal relationship. Which, you know, to last for 10 years as a development duo when you don't actually like the other person is.
Yeah,
I
feel like that's kind of an achievement in itself, honestly.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Polygon article for this, and just to quote here, Rami Ismail said, "I respect him a lot. I don't go to his birthday party or anything. We're not friends in that sense of the word."
Yeah. You know, I mean, that's like fine in a lot of ways. Like everybody who has ever worked with other people has had people at their job they don't necessarily like.
Yeah.
But when you're a two-person team,
yeah. All I could think is that this was making me think of it. I'm sorry, but it was making me think of when Rami Ismail did a press release for his divorce again.
Oh god, yeah, that was him, wasn't it? Oh my god,
it sure was. Rami Ismail,
like this was more normal than that. Them announcing this, it was more normal than that.
Yeah, there's a history of drama, I guess, from that guy, but. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they're both just gonna keep doing their thing. Like, I think it says here that, like, Nijman, helped make Minute. So, you know, he's gonna keep doing his stuff, and, like, Ismail is always doing stuff for, like, game, like, you know, he's doing stuff with, like, GDC and, like, other game dev, like, coalitions, and, just stuff like that. Like, neither of them are going to go hungry, but, Vlambeer is over, and I think there's a big sale going on right now on Steam for their games, so, Nuclear Throne is a really good game. You should probably check that out.
Yeah, I remember Ryan played that, and he really loved it, so, I mean, I guess it's a roguelike, right? So I guess if you're into that... Yeah. But yeah, like, this isn't surprising, honestly. This is, like, one of those things where you're like... Yeah, it probably should have happened 5 years ago, but, whatever.
Yeah. But the other thing that happened, that I kind of apologize for not bringing up last week. I'm a little surprised that I forgot to talk about it, but the developer of Skullgirls and Indivisible, Lab Zero, pretty much completely crumbled over the past 2 weeks. So there was about a month and a half ago, there were those allegations against Mike Z about him creeping on people in the DMs, as well as just being a very frustrating person to work with. And it sounded like Lab Zero were in the process of figuring out what to do, splitting off from him, etc., etc. And then about 2 weeks ago, a couple of people from Lab Zero, a lot of their more prominent folks, just came out and said, yeah, we're leaving Lab Zero. And as the time went on, they pretty much just told everyone what happened. And it sounds like, well, not even what it sounds like. What they said was that they were gearing up to have Mike Z leave and then have the whole company be employee owned. Just, have Lab Zero be owned by the entire staff. But at the last minute, Mike Z pulled back from leaving and just said, no, I own the whole company now, and I'm not leaving. And you're just going to have to work for me if you're going to stay here. So a good portion of the people that had the money to leave, had other commitments, were freelancers, or, just had the money to, leave how they wanted to. They just did so. And they just went out and just told everyone, he was a shithead, he was inappropriate, and, we just couldn't take it anymore. A week later, Mike Z has fired everyone else. So he is the only person working for Lab Zero now, and everyone else has been fired, and there is no severance as of yet. Just, you have to imagine that the people that were still there were probably pretty desperate. It's a global pandemic, and, the job market is not good right now. We're at very, very high unemployment over here. And I mean, it was only 11 people, but that's still 11 people that are going to be without a job in a very hostile environment. It sounds like it's just really rough, but the good news is that they aren't just going to be left hanging. It sounds like that Autumn Games, who have the Skullgirls IP, are going to try to make something new, maybe with a lot of those people. So, hey, maybe they're all just going to land on their feet and it'll be okay, and they'll get jobs with Autumn Games because, they own Skullgirls. Mike Z doesn't. So they could just take everything from him and say, no, we're not working with you anymore. Fuck you, dude. And we're just going to start a new company with everyone that left, and that'll be it. So that would be really nice, and that seems like that's what's going to happen. The one thing that is very much up in the air is Indivisible, because that was 100% Lab Zero, and there's a Switch version that was supposed to come out, a physical version, and they had just made a deal to make a TV show. So, yeah, I mean, there's no way that TV show is gonna happen, but
no.
Yeah, I mean, who knows with the physical copy of those games, that's probably never going to happen. I mean, it came out digitally on Switch, but I think there were a lot of bugs and stuff that didn't get polished out. So who knows if that'll ever happen. I don't know. It seems like a very, very rough time for a lot of those folks. One of the bigger named artists, Mariel Cartwright, actually sold a bunch of her art books over the past week. And she is giving all the proceeds to the folks that got laid off. So that's really nice that everyone at Lab Zero, or who were at Lab Zero, are really just trying to help each other out. And again, hopefully this just turns out to be a happy ending, because it does kind of seem like Autumn Games just wants to work with those people again, and they'll probably just make a new company that's hopefully employee owned and has nothing to do with the scumbag, and he's just going to be left alone without anything, because that would be like the best possible ending, and it's all his fault. So that's kind of it.
This is just like the house in Fata Morgana. It really is. It's the same thing.
I guess so. I don't know.
You know,
I mean,
it is. I'm telling you. This is a story in it. Mike Z's store. Oh my god.
All right. Well, I'll check it out, and I'll tell you if that's tell you if I agree. I guess I will. But yeah, fuck B to Mike Z, and good luck to everyone laid off or who left. I'm sure it'll turn out okay. And yeah, I mean, you know, they want people to keep supporting Skullgirls. Like, everyone who left just kept saying, "Yeah, no, don't stop supporting Skullgirls. This is still something that people should be playing." So I'm sure that once things are squared out, they'll just get back to working on Annie, and it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
All right, Rose. Is there one last thing you want to talk about? We could just go to questions.
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah,
Alan's Wake expansion came out to Control, and I won't say too much because I know both of you probably want to play it. At some point.
Sure,
so
yeah. Just before you get into it, do I need to have finished Alan Wake to play this? Like, should I go and finish that first?
Probably. Like, nothing will... On the Control side of things are comprehensible, but, like, the Alan Wake stuff that happens, probably not, yeah.
Sure, okay. Because I was halfway through Alan Wake when my PC died at the end of last year, and so I just never got a chance to go back to it.
Yeah, I would probably recommend doing that, I think.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not, like, super crazy with the amount of Alan Wake stuff. I mean, it kind of is. Like, the main propelling force of it is Alan Wake stuff. But I think I liked this one a lot more than the last expansion. The last expansion was longer, I think, but this one has more, like, Control stuff, I guess, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
So the entire first expansion was all about the board, right? The abstract pyramids and how their weird way of talking, which meant, like, a lot of the writing of Control wasn't present because, like, it was mostly focused on that conversation, and that conversation has a specific gimmick to it, right? That kind of prevents a deeper way of doing things. And I also found, like, most of the text files that I was finding around was, like, kind of more generic in that expansion than the main game. Like, it was a lot of, like, my father's the director, blah, 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 you know, like, we're stuck down here, like, just very, like, standard, like, written logs, text logs.
It felt like stuff that had been, like, left on the cutting room floor of the like, original or the full game, I guess, and just, like, they were like, yeah, this is lying around, put that in. Yeah.
So on the flip side of that, every single text log in the new Alan Wake stuff is super good, and most of it's not even related to Alan Wake. Like, a lot of it is, but there's, like, plenty of new original, like, you know, objects of power and stuff that they do fun stuff with. There's a really good side quest that I really, really liked with one of the altered items, which is just, hey, a spacesuit, when Apollo 13 or whatever went up, and then, like, with 3 astronaut men, and they landed on the moon, and they came back, there were just 4 astronaut men all of a sudden. And all of them are like, what do you mean? This guy's always been here. He's always here. This is our buddy. What's wrong with you? But he doesn't speak English correctly. He talks in, like, nonsense phrases. Like, the quest is called Gerbil Took the Top Hat. 'Cause he just talks like that. He's just, like, saying, like, insane things. And there's this whole quest where you have to figure out he wants you to get him something, and he just keeps saying, like he has, like, the tone in his voice, like he's getting pissed off that you don't understand him, but he's just saying, like apples and oranges always in pairs or something like that, like, and it's just yeah. It's just like, lady, are you whatever, like, he's getting mad, and she's like, oh my god, calm down, jeez, I'm not gonna help you anymore, whatever. Like, it's a really good quest. And there's just tons of text logs about other stuff that doesn't even show up, like, there's this fucked up tractor that growls like a bear and kills people or whatever. Like, There's just a ton of great stuff in there. The best text log is the first time I think I saw them do this in the whole game, where they said they described a picture that was taken of fucked up Alan Wake running down a hallway screaming or whatever, and they were like, look at the attached picture or whatever, and I was like, no, there's no attached picture or whatever. Later you just pick up a picture of Alan Wake like screaming or whatever with like a light flashing on him, and that was really good. Also, that expansion totally ends with them just saying Alan Wake 2 is coming out in 2 years.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I think my only thing that I think I took away as a criticism of that expansion was that I think Control needs to figure out a way to balance how much you're floating. Because I think, as much as I think the floating everywhere is cool, because not a lot of games have floating, it kind of removes like the exploration aspect to an extent.
Sure.
In the more concentrated spaces, like an office or something like that. Because it's just like, okay, this room is like wide open, but most of the stuff's on the ground. But like, I only ever want to float everywhere, you know? Like, I don't want to be running around. And I think they could do something more to do with that, especially in combat scenarios. I feel like if they want to get tactical with what you're doing and stuff like that, or like fool around with it more, you floating constantly all the time is kind of a hampering on that.
It totally is. Like that was something that I got pretty frustrated with, where I was like, you know, like they expect you to be floating around constantly, but when you get hit too much, you'll like, you know, break your float, and like, you know, stuff will just be all wonky, and
you die easy in that game too. So
you die really easy, and like when you said that they added a bunch more checkpoints and all that, like that, because I never actually finished Control. I was on like the last little bit. And I just got so frustrated with the checkpointing and all that. And I'll probably actually go back and finish it soon, because I do want to finish. Like, I love so much about that game, but it's just the dying and the having to run all the way back.
Yeah.
Like I just think about like the worst thing. Like, I took a video of it. I remember when you're fighting the mirror world version of yourself. It takes a full literal minute from when you respawn to getting back to the fight, just running back from that checkpoint.
There was a thing in that DLC, the first DLC, that, I mean, that threw Niall off the whole fucking game, and I don't blame him. Like, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah, I think I timed it, and it was like 90 seconds or something like that from respawn to just like triggering the cutscene to start it, and I was just like,
and then that alone was like minutes of doing the whole thing to get back to where you were too. Like,
it was like that made me want to stop playing it. Honestly, I mean, I got through that part, and then I was just like, I think I'm done now for a while.
Totally. Also, I'm sorry for laughing a little bit at this, but I still can't get over that, you know, like, the Trixie, our friend who was on the site for a good while, it was just extremely funny to see her, experience Control and maybe be a little biased against it because she, you know, like basically ran SCP for a while, and then recently she found out that like the first DLC was just called The Foundation, and she was like pissed about it. It's pretty.
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her, but it is very funny.
The one more thing about the Alan Wake expansion that I just remembered. They're so barefaced about liking Twin Peaks now. Like, it is like the entire ending is just like the second to last episode of Twin Peaks: The Return, where Alan Wake's face is just overlaid over everything. And like, it's called like It's Happening Again, which is the Twin Peaks thing. And then it's just like The Return or whatever. It's just like, guys, okay, I get it. Calm down.
They're
honestly,
having fun.
I really appreciate just like the complete
barefaced.
Like,
They like Twin Peaks. That was what Alan Wake was for sure. So like, you know, like fucking go for it. But it was just like, man.
Alan Wake was them being like, yeah, we like Twin Peaks. Control was them being like, yeah, we like SCP. And now both of these are like, yeah, what if Twin Peaks was in SCP? Like, that's all it is. And you know what? Fucking sure. Why not?
Yeah, I'm very excited to see where they take this like universe that they're working on, because they did say there was going to be more stuff outside of Alan Wake and Control, right? That was going to be in the same general thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're making Crossfire.
Yeah, they're doing the single player for Crossfire, which is, I think, the part that like isn't going to be on Game Pass.
Oh,
if I remember, if I remember right, like the Game Pass trailer for it was like only the multiplayer is free to play on Game Pass or something like that. I don't know. Like Crossfire seems like a real weird thing for them to do, but I guess if they only have to do the story because the multiplayer has existed for years in like Korea, maybe that's less of a thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's weird. I, for one, am happy that Remedy has come back in style after Quantum Break.
God.
I really thought that was going to kill them. I do think that at the very least I am like about 505 games handling of Control.
Yeah. Because like all the shitty stuff with the like the Game of the Year edition,
the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, whatever you call it.
The biggest thing with that to me is like less the whole next gen upgrade thing being limited to that new version, which is insane in its own right, but that it's cheaper for, I think it's cheaper for someone to buy Control today and get both DLCs than it was for like the original player of Control to buy both DLCs on their own, like Control, because it's like $30 by default or something like that. It's just like, man, really?
Yeah. Like, it's a mess. Games are a mess. Prices are a mess. Capitalism's a mess. It fucking sucks.
Yeah. Oh, you know what's a nice thing that I saw that happened for free? They updated Doom 1 and 2 like everywhere.
That's right. Yeah.
Like today, I saw, because I was just bemoaning that I want to play Doom 2, but you have to like put a bunch of mods and stuff to make controllers work on the PC version of Doom 2 that's on Steam. Not anymore.
Those console versions that they released that were all wonky and nobody liked them. It seems like they're basically the go-to way to play Doom now. Like probably even better than some of the fan-made versions, and and then they even updated the PC versions to be on par with those console versions. So like everything is at parity and it's all like top tier, high quality stuff. And it's exactly what we'd want. It has like sigil built in. It has like, mod support as long as, you could play WADs, I think even on console if you have a Bethesda account. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I was happy to see it.
Same here. All right. Y'all ready for questions?
Let's do it.
All right. If you want to send in a question, just go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. And you'll sound like these fine folks are here. Skullcastle number 4 / Cello Buster asks, which FPS protagonist do you think is the best kisser? Also the worst.
Ooh.
Worst is Master Chief, probably.
Really?
The only people he's ever talked to are his mom and Cortana. Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
He doesn't talk to anyone.
Yeah,
he became Master Chief when he was like 12.
That is true. Yeah, I was gonna say Duke Nukem because I just feel like he's probably shit at it.
Yeah.
But
you don't think he practices on his hand?
I think he practices on his hand, but I don't think that necessarily means he's like good at it.
Yeah. He's a fucking sloppy mess of a man, no matter what.
Yeah.
I've got boomer shooters on the brain just because I keep watching Civi videos. So, I mean, yeah, there's definitely some worse characters. I mean, I bet like the dude from fucking Blood is probably really bad at kissing. Caleb, fucking Postal dude, like fucking Postal dude is.
Yeah, he's definitely very bad at it.
Yeah,
you know who I think is good?
Who?
BJ Blazkowicz.
Yes.
Yeah. Probably up there.
Especially a reboot, BJ. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like the Painkiller guy is probably pretty good.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's like the ultimate wife guy of like person shooter protagonist.
That is true.
So,
how are we feeling about Serious Sam?
I think he's probably bad at it because he's just like screaming all the time because that's all he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? All the Call of Duty guys are really bad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
His name was Soap. His name was Soap.
His name was Soap.
Took that seriously.
Gross. Yeah. If any of you all listening have opinions on this one, feel free to send them in because I would love to hear y'all's opinion. If you want to maybe defend someone who we said is bad, if there's anyone out there who wants to argue, maybe Caleb's a good kisser. I don't know. All right. And then the other question we got this week is from Harlequin Wheels, who asks, what would your favorite Game Boy Advance game look and play like if it were made as a benchmark for the NVIDIA 3090 graphics card? That is something we forgot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
They announced the new graphics cards, and they're not too expensive, I mean, we got to take the pandemic into account because, people don't have money. But for graphics cards and the power that they have and the fact that they're brand spanking new, like one of the higher end ones being like they're like $400, $500. I mean, like the really high end one I think is like around $1,000, but like $500 for a brand new high end graphics card, that's really not bad.
Yeah, like comparatively compared to what cards like of that range have typically been, that's a very good price. Like honestly, if you're somebody who has like a 9 series card or even a 10 series card and like you're looking to upgrade, like that's maybe a better move than a PS5 or an Xbox right now, like because neither of those have any games on them really. So
yeah,
like you can play everything that's coming on Xbox on PC. The only thing that Xbox doesn't have that PS5 has is Bugsnax, and that's also coming on PC. So
yeah,
like, I think it serves to make the argument not to buy one of the new consoles even more compelling if you have sort of a PC already. So
yeah. If I didn't have to like get a whole new CPU also on top of a new graphics card, I would totally just be like, no way in hell.
Yeah, with me just recently getting my PC, honestly, I'm a little upset that I didn't know about these until just now because I probably would have just bought the new one. But whatever. I guess that's how it is.
You'll
with
be
PCs.
fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be okay.
Every 3 months.
I don't need to worry about ray tracing and all that shit. I don't care about that. So it's fine. I'll live. I'm pretty sure my graphics card can do 4K already, so it's okay.
You have a 2070, right? Like, that's an RTX card. That can do ray tracing. So, like...
Sure.
You are fine for a few years yet.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Like, I kind of feel you, because obviously I had to build a PC when mine died at like the end of last year, and I'm kind of looking at this now being like, do I want to swap this 2080 out for a 3080? And I don't think I do yet. Like, this is fine for years to come anyway. So
yeah. I'm not like, or anything. I'm just like, damn, if I had known, I would have jumped on it, but it's fine.
Yeah.
We have to answer Wheels' question. Which GBA game would you want to bump
I don't even know what this means.
I honestly don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Like, he's basically asking what GBA game do you want remade, like Final Fantasy VII style here, basically.
Oh, like those weird demos. Okay, yeah, no, all right, yeah.
Ninja 5.0.
I forgot about that.
Ninja 5.0. Let's make a fucking Ninja 5.0 game that is just overly ray traced, but I still want it to be a side-scrolling action game where you're just jumping around and rescuing hostages, and that's it.
Yeah.
Ninja 5.0 is a good fucking game. I wish that game wasn't like $300.
Yeah, I'm just sort of like thinking about GBA games I really like and like how they would look if you just took them how they like exist now but ray traced what they already are, like, and just like the thought of like Metroid Zero Mission Fusion and like what those would look like ray traced, or like Golden Sun ray traced, like what the fuck, like no other changes, just slap a bit of ray tracing in there, like how those would look, and I can't even in my mind like think how that would change them. Like you really would have to just completely remake it, right? Like a totally new thing.
I mean, I'd be down for a Final Fantasy VII remake version of Golden Sun.
I would too. Yeah, that
would be very good. Yeah, get on that, Camelot.
What does Nintendo have against RPGs specifically? Like, it seems like they hate them so much. I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like their lack of focus on them has been their downfall consistently.
I mean, it's Xenoblade and Fire Emblem are the two big RPGs, and I feel like the reason why they're able to keep that afloat is because they can, like, really easily, like, make quote-unquote waifus out of the characters. It's pretty much just like, that's what it is. Like, I mean, they straight up said like, yeah, we haven't made a new Advance Wars in forever because we can't do like relationship stuff.
So I always figured that it was like how I had heard Nintendo's run often, where they just give games to people to like say like, oh, good job working on X other project. Like Xenoblade is just like, they let them make Xenoblade games because Monolith Soft has been like the backbone of half of Nintendo's first party games for like the last 20 years or whatever. Like, okay, you can make Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition because you're making the map for Breath of the Wild 2. That's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
what is Camelot doing these days? Like, what was the last game they put out?
Mario Tennis or something?
Yeah, they make the Mario Tennis and golf games.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just recently put out that Mario Tennis game. So, I mean, I'm guessing they're probably making a Mario Golf because there hasn't been a Mario Golf on the Switch yet.
Yeah. Last one was 3DS, right? That was an alright game. That was pretty good.
Yeah, oh yeah, the last golf one, yeah.
Yeah,
and then they did... Yeah, the last thing they did was the Mario Tennis Aces, which was also pretty good. It launched bad because it was one of those Switch games where they like rushed it out too fast, like Kirby and all that. But,
all of them.
I mean, yeah, a lot of the early ones were like that, yeah. But they supported it pretty well, and it at the end of the day, it was fine. So you know, it's okay now.
Yeah, they were the ones that developed the Mario Golf that had the RPG in it, right? Like that was basically just an RPG. Yeah. They should do that again. They should just make another.
They should.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. They did like Mario Tennis on the Wii U, and that was bad, but that was also because it was really obvious that they just rushed it out because it was like right when the Wii U was dying, so they were just like, we gotta get it out. Fuck it.
I mean, the Wii U was dying as soon as it was announced, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
One game left on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is that really it? I think it is just Xenoblade Chronicles X now.
Yeah, it's just the one.
That's the only one.
It's a hell of a game for sure. Just
do you think that they're going to port it? Because they've said
they want to.
They've said a few times that they like can't. But hey, you know what? Maybe if your theory is right that that Nintendo just wants to reward them, maybe they'll be able to do it after Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, because they're working on Breath of the Wild 2.
I was reading an interview that really made me go like, damn, it really added to my Nintendo are bastards, which was they were talking about how they've been working on Breath of the Wild 2, and they were talking about how they made Definitive Edition for Xenoblade Chronicles, and they said that Nintendo was trying to force them to make that little expansion bit on the end of Definitive Edition. That's like a little 5-hour mini adventure epilogue thing that they added. Nintendo was trying to make them sell that as $20 DLC.
Ooh.
On top of the $60.
Jeez.
And they had to be like, no.
Good on them for fighting for that. I mean, like, obviously, Torna, them selling that as a separate thing is absolutely worth it, because that is, like, basically a game on its own. But, nah, that, like, extra 5-hour thing, no way.
I feel like Xenoblade Chronicles X is just, like, such a thing to do in every respect. Like, that was in development for, like, almost 10 years or something like that. Like, and it shows, because that world is, like, so big. There's so many, like, models to adjust. There's so many, like, online features to do. Like, I loaded that game up when I was starting up my Wii U earlier this week, and like that when you start up that game, it's like broken apart now because they're like, Miiverse doesn't exist anymore. Sorry, like all of these systems we built to integrate with Miiverse are just here now, and you will get messages that don't mean anything constantly because the system is broken.
That's such a shame.
So I imagine it's just all stuff with that.
Yeah.
Miiverse.
Do you think that they would just make a sequel instead? Because
probably.
I read an interview where the director or like the lead of Monolith Soft basically said like, yeah, I want to make a Xenoblade 3 and I want to make an X2. So
yeah, I think they basically said they're making 3 now after 1, which is a little disappointing because I think they need to make X2 because I think that's a very different game, and I think it would be nice to have that as a break. Also, that like, first game is notoriously like just ends randomly, like so.
Yeah, I would love to see them like able to evolve on those ideas because like Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is a good game, but it is also very rough a lot of the times, like just hearing you talking about it. And then, you compare it to Xenoblade 2, and it is such a vast improvement, and they really figured stuff out. So I would love to see them take the X concept and build on it like they took the original Chronicles and built on it for 2. I would love to see them do that. And then, and then take what they learned making X2 and apply it to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Like, I want to see them use those alternative things, but I mean, I don't know. I'm sure Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will be great, and I'm sure I'll love it just as much, if not more than 2, but, we'll see. Xenoblade talk.
Yep.
I have been getting the fucking urge to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 again. Like, I haven't even finished Torna, but I've just been like, man, what if I did a new game plus? What if I got, like, a bunch of different blades, and I, like, started to learn, and I was like, what if I, like, learned how to like do big combos and shit and got like really into the combat. It's like, what if I did that? They have that
DLC they added that I don't know if you ever did any of it.
I did a little bit of it, but I just didn't get into the combat enough to like actually be able to do very well at it. Because I know that there's like, like different ways that you could build your blades and get like a proper party. I never really did that. I just did enough to finish the game, but there's a lot of like actually really good like YouTube tutorials that go over like what each blade does and their special abilities and like how they work with other characters and like who should use what. I was just like, man, I should just get into that. I've just been thinking about doing that. I'm like, fucking yeah, I'll just.
It can be fun.
I'll get in there and I'll like grind fucking gems until I get Cosmos, whatever the fuck. Who cares? I'll use some of my Yu-Gi-Oh pack pulling luck to get Cosmos.
Yeah, good luck, because even I didn't get her after all that time. I
mean, that's I don't know if it's a better chance or less of a chance than getting a Starlight Rare, so who knows? Maybe I do have a good chance. I don't know. All right, well, thank you so much for listening, everybody. We had a good time recording, and I hope you had a good time listening. Both of you, let's go over where we could find you. Niall, why don't you go first? What? Tell us what's going on with you these days.
I also do another podcast with Ryan, who used to work on the website. It's called Borat Club, where we watch the movie Borat every week for a year. This weekend we are recording our 42nd of 52 viewings, and cannot wait for that to be over. We're on Twitter at Borat Club. I don't have a personal Twitter, but if you want to hear us talk about Resident Evil a lot more than Borat, that's a place you can do that. So yeah.
It's a very good podcast. I will say, as someone who has been listening and not participating, I've been catching up with some of your older episodes, and there's just this like knowing now that they're working on some new Borat content. It is so eerie listening to episodes from like a month ago where you're talking about like these murmurs of Sacha Baron Cohen doing something, and then you all talking about like wanting to buy Borat like website domains and then being like, oh, all these domains are taken. That's really weird.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, they might have been sitting on them for the movie. Like, it's such a like, don't go in there. Like, it's like watching a horror movie.
I used to own the domain borat.club, and at some point I lost control of it somehow. I don't even remember like turning it off of my auto renew. And now I'm like, now that you've said that, I'm like really worried that Sacha Baron Cohen and Disney and Fox have stolen Borat.club out from under me, because somebody else has it now, and I don't know who it is. So I'm gonna have to bring that up to Ryan. Oh.
Yeah, I absolutely do that, because hearing that, I was just like, oh my god, did Niall get sniped like by Borat? It's a very funny show. I would highly recommend it. Like, even if y'all weren't my friends, I would say that it is super good. Definitely check it out. Rose, how about yourself?
I am going to do more virtual YouTubing on Twitch, which I guess shouldn't be called virtual YouTubing. I don't know what to call it. I don't know. VTubing. V-twitching? Oh, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
That sounds...
Streaming as your virtual self.
Yes, over on twitch.tv/horngal. Now that I finished those 2 games that I mentioned in the show, I will play many other things that are maybe less mediocre. Because I don't want to have a reputation as one of those AVGN types, you know?
Yeah.
Angriest dragon you've ever heard.
I mean, irate gamer is back these days. You know, maybe the angry gamer archetype is coming back. You know, you could always be the angry VTuber.
I feel like there's enough of those. I don't know. I feel like that's all of them. I feel like all they do is scream.
Like, you're the only one who doesn't do like baby voice and stuff like that. So you're the only one that isn't like the worst thing in the world. So
I'm gonna say this though, like. There is a very big disconnect between like the Japanese side of VTubing and the English side of VTubing, in that every single time I get like a YouTube recommendation of an English VTuber, they are all like playing up like they're all going too hard on being like, oh, ara, like all that shit. They're trying to be like really like sexy and like all that stuff. And you know, I'm not saying this in like a slut shaming way. Like, you know, if you want to do that. But I don't know if that's just like the thing that English VTubers have to do, is they have to like play up sexiness or something like that to get attention, which would be shitty, because like you look at like the Japanese VTubers and they're doing a lot of different things, you know, like they're like, you know, they might fit into certain archetypes, but there are at least a lot different personalities, I feel like. You look at English VTubing, or at the very least the ones that I have seen, and it does seem very, very similar, where they're just trying to be like overly horny and like appealing to those kinds of people. And I think that's a shame. Like, I would hope that they could just, you know, do what they want to do and express themselves how they want to express themselves. And again, if they want to express themselves that way, that's fine. But I just hope that if they don't feel like they have to do that in order to have an audience. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of the Western space in general, I feel like, for any women streamers in general. It's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do that, and then that's also your Twitter, right? At Horngal and all that.
Yep, at Horngal. Yep. Mm-hmm. Find me there. Posting.
Yes. Posting. You can also find me posting at JOHN_MICHONSKI. That's me, John. Hello, everybody. That's me. And that's it. That's all I do, because I just run Chooch, and I have fucking classes, and that's all I have the time to do. So there you go. Thank you everyone for listening. Go ahead to our Twitter account at VGCC, our Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com, where you can also send questions to be answered on this podcast. You can go ahead and go to our Discord server, thegamezone.zone, type that into your web browser, and it'll bring you straight there. We also have a YouTube channel, Video Game Choo Choo. You just type that into your YouTube browser or search bar, or I think it's just youtube.com/videogamechoochoo. We have our Twitch, twitch.tv/VGCC, where we stream sometimes, but hey, you know what? It's also a good way to just keep up to date with what everyone else is doing, because, you know, we host Rose when she goes live, we host Solon, sometimes that overlaps, but you know what? You can maybe flip a coin or something, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you know, we keep everyone in the Chooch community together, so we, you know, so come along and check out our streams and all that. Of course, thank you to Magic Circuit / Melt Channel for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. Check out their stuff on Bandcamp. It's a Magic Circuit for their new stuff on Bandcamp. The old stuff is Melt Channel, one word, on Bandcamp. And then also on Spotify and just pretty much wherever else you would want to stream music, like SoundCloud, all that. And also, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/VGCC, where if you go there right now, the day that this episode goes out, we have a new episode of Starlight Car. So hey, we have 2 Starlight Cars in a row. We're keeping up with that so far. Where Elvie, she did this by herself, no backup from the rest of us, because she is a fucking professional. She's probably been doing this longer than we have. Like, let's be real. She interviewed the showrunners of the Netflix / Nickelodeon show Glitch Techs, which is pretty interesting interview. I've listened to a good amount of it. It's very illuminating. That show has had its ups and downs. So I really hope that their new season goes well, and you know, go ahead and listen to that interview, or you can wait a week and it'll be free. It's just $3 a month to listen to everything a week early. You know, we got Starlight Car, we have Chuchigatra Unlimited Train Works, our anime podcast, and other stuff that's in the works. I know that Scott's working on some stuff for the Sekiro LP, and we'll do something with the Doom LP sometime soon, I know, but we're doing stuff. And that's it. So, thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. So long!